Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good evening. You're watching Oman News. First, the headlines. World Travel and Tourism Council stresses that the Sultanate will lead the growth march of tourism and travel sector in the Middle East during the current year. Omani exports increase to around 4 billion riyals in 2013. The Public Authority for Manpower Register announces that military sectors employed 20,000 citizens. And the Directorate General of Education in the Governorate of North Sharqiya holds a ceremony to honor more than 200 teachers. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. The Sultanate will lead the growth march of tourism and travel sector in the Middle East during the current year and will achieve one of the highest global growth rates in the sector in the upcoming year. This came in the Economic Impact of Travel and Tourism 2014 report issued by the World Travel and Tourism Council based in the British capital, London. The report affirmed that the Sultanate has a competitive potentials and that qualify to achieve the highest global growth rate in the sector. It also pointed out that the direct contribution of tourism and travel sector in the Omani economy amounted to 1 billion Omani riyals last year, representing 3% of gross domestic product. The report predicted the direct contribution will witness noticeable growth by 10.2% in the current year, and the direct contribution of tourism and travel activity to the Sultanate GDP will reach 5.4% annually. Official figures showed that the total contribution of the sector recorded 6.4% of GDP in 2013. The estimates say that the total contribution of the sector to GDP will reach by 2024 around 4 billion Omani riyals, with more than 8% of GDP. The volume of Omani exports increased last year by 8.5%, recording 3.8 billion Omani riyals. This figure was revealed during a seminar on exports and customs held in Muscat by the Public Establishment for Industrial Estates. The seminar discussed supporting industrialists and industrial activity in the Sultanate, facilitating the accessibility into foreign markets and providing facilities and information in a continuous way to exporters and promoting Omani exports in global market. The event is one of a series of seminars for industrialized in 2014 or industrialists, aiming to develop the industrial sector through discussions between industrialists and the sector concerned government bodies, and got acquainted with the latest developments in the industrial community. On the sideline of the seminars, a memorandum of understanding was signed between the Public Establishment for Industrial Estates and Oman Export Credit Guarantee Agency to develop cooperation between the two sides. The Public Authority for Manpower Register announced that the military sectors employed 20,000 citizens who are holding general diploma and its equivalent within the age of less than 28 by the end of last year, stressing that this step comes in implementation of royal directives of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos to accommodate job-seeking citizens in various government and private sectors. It indicated that this employment came as coordination between it and the Ministry of Defense, Sultan's Armed Forces, Royal Guard of Oman, Royal Oman Police and other military services. The indicators of the Public Authority for Manpower Register show that 1,250 male and female job seekers were recorded last April in various governorates of the Sultanate. Among the registered job seekers were 727 males and 523 females. Tariq bin Sulaiman Al-Farsi, CEO of Raft Fund, said that more than 500 projects are expected to be financed at a cost of more than 10 million Omani Riyals in the first quarter of the year. He added more than 250 individuals have been already financed at a cost of 6.1 million Riyals in the first quarter of the year, indicating that the fund officials are keen to provide a new mechanism which is planning before financing and study the feasibility before financing an investor. Still to come in our news bulletin, literary and cultural event is organized for students in the Wilayat of Khasab. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. Oman Land Transport Association discussed in a private seminar establishing a national company for land transport to get the benefit of the economic and investment opportunities provided by this sector, particularly for the youth. The seminar aimed to spread cultural and economic awareness for the owners of institutions and companies of land transport and to provide them with incentives which encourage them to invest in this sector, in addition to raise works quality of the owners of equipment. The seminar also discussed the legal procedures to establish the specialized companies in the field of land transport, as well as challenges and difficulties which face such projects. National Industry Fair was opened in Oman International Exhibition Center in Muscat. It came to support economic movement in the Sultanate in industrial field. It included various sections that showcased Omani products. Around 42 local industrial establishments participated in the event. It was considered an opportunity to meet entrepreneurs and to introduce to visitors the numerous Omani products, namely decor items, equipments, handicrafts, and others. Air Commodore Hassan Shasifi, commander of Iranian Air Force, visited a military college of technology where he acquainted with the role played by the college in military training and qualifying. He and the delegation saw a visual presentation on the stages of establishing the college, its study and service facilities, as well as advanced modern technology. They also listened to a briefing on general curriculum and various specializations besides study phases from theoretical to practical. To expand the concepts for engineers and those working in engineering services at the Ministry of Defense, the second Technology and Industrial Gathering for Devices and Equipment related to energy, water and construction was held today. It gives opportunity for direct contact between the engineers and those working in the engineering service and manufacturing and importing companies. It was presided over by Commodore Mohammed bin Saeed Al-Hinai, Head of Engineering Service at the Ministry of Defense. The Royal Navy of Oman today conducted the naval drill Khanjar Had in Oman's territorial waters with the assistance of the Royal Air Force of Oman, jets, and the participation of a number of ships of the friendly countries' navies. The drill comes within the framework of the annual training plans pursued by RNO that aim at exchanging naval expertise and sustaining the levels of readiness of RNO fleet and its personnel in various marine disciplines in a manner that comes in line with their national tasks. Omani Student Society in the Australian city of Sydney organized the activities of Omani Cultural Day in the University of New South Wales. It aimed to introduce the Sultanate, its history and its tourism potentials. The day came to confirm the importance of representing the Sultanate in the world countries. The Omani students formed a number of groups. The first group was responsible to introduce the Sultanate, the second focused on tourism promotion, while the third presented competitions in the stage in performing traditional dances. The associated exhibition included Omani costumes and food. The Directorate General of Education in the Governorate of North Sharqiya held a ceremony to honor more than 200 teachers. It was presided over by His Excellency Dr. Abdullah bin Nasser Al-Harasi, Chairman of Public Authority for Radio and Television. It came to highlight teachers' role in spreading knowledge and contributing in development of education field. The ceremony included various portraits and an operetta that praised the teachers' efforts. The participants expressed that the honoring will motivate the teachers and academics to keep up the good work. Child Protection Seminar was held in the Governorate of Buremi. It came to limit violence and child abuse in the society. It discussed various related topics and witnessed huge attention from the attendees. An awareness film was presented to contribute in spreading the message in the society and urging to participate in limiting this phenomena. A seminar on drugs and their effects in the individual and society discussed the role of the family and institutions of civil society to spread awareness of the risk of drugs. The seminar, which was organized in the Wilayat of Al-Mazyuna in the Governorate of Dhofar, presided over by His Excellency Sheikh Salim bin Suhail Tabuk, Wali of Al-Mazyuna. The seminar reviewed the numbers, statistics and the role of Royal Oman Police and other bodies to combat these diseases. It also focused on the health damages, which most of them lead to death. In the Wilayah of Hasab, in the Governorate of Musandam, a literary and cultural event was organized for male and female students in the Governorate. It was held at Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industries branch. The event came to showcase literary talents and promote cooperation and interaction between schools and the community. The activities include recitation of poetry and visual presentation. At the end of the event, the chief guest, His Excellency Sayyid Khalifa bin Al-Madras Al-Busaidi, Governor of Musandam, handed over prizes and appreciation certificates. And now for the general weather forecast. Clear to partly cloudy skies will prevail over the Sultanate with chances of rain, occasionally thunder showers, accompanied by gusty winds and hails over parts of the Hajar Mountains towards the evening, and it may extend to the coastal areas of the Sea of Oman. Winds will be northeasterly light or westerly light to moderate. Seas along the southeastern coast will be moderate to rough with a maximum wave height of 2 meters, while it will be slight to moderate along the rest of the Sultanate coast with a maximum wave height of 1.25 meters. This is the Sultan of Oman Television. Before we end tonight's news bulletin, here are the main points once again. World Travel and Tourism Council stresses that the Sultan will lead the growth march of tourism and travel sector in the Middle East during the current year. Omani exports increased to around 4 billion Omani Riyals in 2013. The Public Authority for Manpower Register announces that military sector employed 20,000 citizens. And the Directorate General of Education in the Government of North Sharqiya holds a ceremony to honor more than 200 teachers. And with that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here in the newsroom and the studios, thanks for watching. Good night.